What is going on, you guys? Coaster here, just talking about the Sharks. We're at the All-Star break, and of course the All-Star break's about a week long. I figure I could get my thoughts in on the Sharks before the Super Bowl and everything else when I talk about football. So, yeah, the Sharks. In perspective, we're a little past the halfway point. This team, they've been streaky, and I've kind of expected that. This is going to be a team that's going to go through their growing pains and get younger. They're trying to rebuild on the fly. That's been the theory, and that's what Doug Wilson has been saying is, oh, we're a team of tomorrow. Well, he kind of means it. There's a lot of guys who are younger are playing, like Melker Karlsson, Chris Tierney even gets time in, Matt Tennyson, Matt Irwin. Just a lot of younger people are playing a bit more. Mirko Mueller's kind of been disappointing so far. There's Tomas Hertl. He's going to try to build around those young guys, and it wants them to get all valuable playing time now. Has it kind of hit the team in the regular season? Of course it has. I think their team doesn't have that same veteran experience of before, but they're younger. And if they're going to be losing and they're streaky when they're younger, I can live with this. As I said, the team's defense is where it's very streaky. The team does not have the greatest of two-way forwards, in my opinion. A lot of these guys are offensive-minded, and they're very streaky on defense, with the exception of penalty killing. That's the part where it's okay, but the defensive part, just puck battles and all those two-way player things, it's not as good as it has been in the past. Guys like Joe Pavelski, Logan Couture leading the team, and Thornton and Marlowe are still there. They're under contract for a couple of years after this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Doug Wilson is trying to shop them. I know they have a no-trade clause and all that business, but it doesn't prevent Wilson from trying to make an effort to trade the older guys. I could see this team trying to get rid of all the older players slowly by time. It may not happen at the trade deadline. It may not even happen in this offseason, but he wants those guys to be kind of stopgaps for the younger players. As I said, guys like Melker Karlsson have been good for the expectations I've given them. And then there's disappointments like Mirko Mueller, who've been streaky and inconsistent. But Tomas Hertl, good secondary scoring. I've been pretty satisfied there. And the goalie situation's been good as well. Antti Niemi is in his contract year. He's been good. I know I don't want to give him an extension, but he's been good with the situation he's been in. And Alex Stalock has been up and down. There's some games where he's had some real brain farts, but Stalock is supposed to be the long-term future. I think Niemi is good right now. They're good in the situation where they are right now. There's going to be questions moving forward. What does Doug Wilson do to Niemi? What is he going to do to the veterans? What's going to happen to the younger guys? Of course, Justin Braun, they've made a commitment, and they signed the extension before the season started, I think. They extended Justin Braun. They also made that trade with Jason Demers for Brendan Dillon. Really, I think that's one of those trades where both sides needed a change of scenery. Demers wasn't doing so well with us in his time this year, and they needed a change. So Dillon has been okay. We've needed defensemen, and I don't think this team's going to contend or anything, but they need some defense. And Dillon at least has fit that mold, and he's under control. I think he's an RFA, so he's at least under the Sharks' control, if anything else. The Sharks, for the most part, with free agency, they're good at keeping their own players, unless they don't want them, such as Daniel Winnick. They didn't want him, so they'll let players walk. But otherwise, yeah, this team is young. They're trying to work, and in perspective, they're like second in the division right now. And technically, it's third because Vancouver has played less games than us. So Vancouver will probably win a game or two, and they'll be in second. We're in third. I'm okay with where we are. This team is not supposed to win the division, and the Ducks can go ahead and win that. Bruce Boudreau, we're kind of used to Bruce Boudreau winning regular season games. That's just something the Capitals used to do in the past, and now the Ducks win in the regular season. They can have it. Just get in the playoffs. That's all that matters right now is get in the playoffs. Just hope to develop these younger players as time goes on. As I said, they're still competing for a playoff spot with all these younger players on the bottom six. The bottom defensemen, so on. They're not like the Oilers just sucking, or the Toronto Maple Leafs who don't have an identity. Thankfully, we're not those two teams. So, yeah, the Sharks, they have a lot of things to work on. They definitely need some help. I think on defense, if they want to contend this year, Doug Wilson always likes picking up a rental or picking up a player or two. I would not be surprised if he has a trade right at the deadline to fix the depth. It might be one minor pickup. He might give up a draft pick for it. It's very Doug Wilson-like to make a buying move at the deadline. We have the cap room to do it, but can we give up something to get something? I don't know. I still think the Sharks, guys like Tyler Kennedy and Adam Burris are just a waste of a spot on the roster. And sadly, this goes same for John Scott and Mike Brown, two guys I'm not really into. I mean, okay, enforcers are nice. You could always use one, but I just don't see the production from them. That they don't seem as useful to me as guys who are skilled players, who are more finesse, and guys who can pass the puck better. And there were times I've seen this team not pass as well as in the past, but they're competitive, they're fighting, they're inconsistent, and I can live with that. In perspective, the Sharks are still competing for a playoff spot, and I hope they still compete for the playoff spot. And right now, sure, they don't look like a team that's going to win the cup anytime soon, but I see development. And in perspective, I know I'm sorry if I'm repeating that word a lot, but we're seeing development of young players getting growing pains now for better use later. That's really how I see this team and how this season plays out. They look like a first-round exit, second-round exit team as of right now. Good thing is they can't really choke anymore, right? I mean, they'll be up 3-0 in a series. I really doubt they do that, but they don't have expectations. This is a younger team, a much more different team of just youth trying to get their playing time now, and the veterans leading them. So, yeah. We'll see what you guys. What do you guys think of the Sharks and how the season has gone? And let me know what you guys think on the outlook. I mean, the Kings, they're streaky. They're kind of hungover, but they're gonna still be in it. You can't write them off. Flames have overachieved. They're right in the hunt, and the Canucks, they're talented, and of course now they have a head coach they can work with. So the Pacific Division is nice and stacked. It'll be a nice little race till the end. But yeah, the West. It'll be interesting. The Sharks should be right in the hunt, and I expect a playoff berth. That's about all I expect of this team. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys later, and go Sharks the rest of the way.